the Fort St. George opened up, the common man went in for the first time thinking that he was in power. The Dravidian model did not resonate very well. I mean, it was not felt in every household. So it's not going to be easy. He has made very tall promises. So the Dalit vote swung in favor of, in a major way, towards Vijay. I expected him to be the arbitrator, the kingmaker. I never expected him to become the king himself.
Tamil Nadu's politics is witnessing a new churn, with actor Vijay's party TVK trying to carve out its own ideological space. TVK secured 108 seats on its own in 2026 assembly elections, defeating Dravidian majors DMK and AIDMK. TVK says it's not a traditional Dravidian party like DMK and AIDMK, and it's also not anti-Dravidian party, with Vijay speaking about Dravidianism and Tamil nationalism as two eyes of his party. Questions are now being raised about future of Dravidian politics in Tamil Nadu. Is this the end of Dravidian ideological era, or is Tamil Nadu simply witnessing its reinvention? We discuss this with author and political commentator Mr. R Kannan. Hello sir, welcome to the show. Sir, TVK has won 108 seats on its own. And what are the factors do you think that contributed to this big victory for TVK?
Oh, there's a long laundry list that I must, list out if I were to go into each one of these details. So we must welcome it. This victory is completely untainted. In the last 30 years, this must be the first time political party has risen to power without paying for a single vote.
Okay.
Reports indicate that in 2 constituencies, TVK candidates did join the fray and paid voters. But other than that, this is a political tsunami that has felled even some good trees, like good, competent ministers have lost out. So, and the length
veteran leaders, veteran politicians.
Veteran politicians, yes. In fact, this vote is an anti-establishment vote. It is against the veterans that you're talking about, because I think it is
I think people wanted to feel fresh. They want...
For 60 years, this has been a binary, a political binary. In fact, more than 60 years. In fact, from the beginning. So if you look at the 1952, the first elections that the composite Madras state faced, it was a binary. It was Congress versus the communists. From 57, the binary became Congress versus the DMK. From 1972, the binary became DMK versus the AADMK. Yeah. People desired that this binary should be, changed. Yeah. And so when in 2005, when actor Vijay floated his party, there was an overwhelming, at least in the rural areas, there was overwhelming support for his launch. There were an estimated 5 lakh people who showed up when he, at the launch of his party. But he quickly exhausted all the goodwill that he had because of his public outbursts, his inconsistent political decisions, etc. We won't go into that. And then he fell ill. So people have always looked for a third alternative. So because in the Tamil Nadu's political discourse, pundits usually say that there is no room for a third alternative because Vijay had tried this. There was Vaiko who tried this. There were others, the Makkal Nala Kootadi, the People's Welfare Front, and so on. And they've all failed. All this, I think, resonated because there's a generational anxiety. There's a new crop of young people. I mean, people below the age of 40 number 2.5 crores of the 5.67 crore voters. So you needed to fulfill their aspirations. 7 lakh young children graduate from professional colleges, from arts colleges and liberal arts colleges and all other disciplines every year in Tamil Nadu. We don't have jobs for all of those. They actually go out in search of jobs. But we, we trumpeted the Dravidian model. The Dravidian model did not resonate very well. I mean, it was not felt in every household.
Oh, okay.
These statistics remained statistics, 11% growth. Compared to the other states, we're far ahead. Yes, but our comparisons were with poor Bimaru states in social sciences. The states from the Hindi belt are called Bimaru, Bihar, and so on and so forth. Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, etc. We should be looking up to Vietnam. We should be looking up to Singapore, if we, because we have the resources, we have the manpower resources. So I think there was a desire for change.
Okay.
There was, this established order was in the face of everyone. The DMK was ubiquitous. It was omnipresent. It was omnipotent. There was not a single area where the DMK was not manifest. So I think this is a vote against essentially the established order.
Sir, when we talk about TVK, Vijay came up with many ideological faces like Periyar, Ambedkar, Anjalai Ammal, Velu Nachiyar, and he later added Annadurai also, MGR, and he used MGR's slogans in his campaign. So, he claims that he is not an anti-Dravidian party, and he also supports Tamil nationalism. So, do you think these two can coexist?
I don't think as he said, he supports Tamil nationalism like Seeman does. Is that what he's saying? I don't think that is what he means. Firstly, there's no need for any ideology in Tamil politics. What we need is, I want to reiterate what the youth want. Those who stood by him, those who stood behind him, those who made his ascent possible, those without spending a single rupee had, performed this miracle. They want jobs. They want a happy, simple life. They want things that work. They don't want the system to be, against them.
Okay.
To be stonewalled at every turn. That is what they want. They don't want ideology.
So do you think TVK wants to redefine this Dravidian politics? This
No, I don't think
ideology, models.
No, not at all, not at all. There is no. I'm telling you again. Even when the DMK came to power, there was not much of an ideology, because ideology is essentially framed in economical terms.
Okay.
So these are not economical experts. These are not Marxists. These are not Leninists. These are not leftists.
Okay.
They are like, the Congress believes in democratic socialism. So these people believe in a watered sense of a socialist enterprise. But there is room for private enterprise. Without private enterprise, how can the state provide jobs for everyone? It hasn't worked anywhere. It's a failed pattern. So it's a mixed economy, and then everybody, and especially after we opened up the economy in the 1990s, there's no question of. I think there are some remaining leftists who are ideologically driven. They are doctrinaire. But other than that, I don't think ideology plays a very important role.
Okay.
And the fact that he has brought all these leaders, a pantheon of leaders, simply shows that he's all inclusive. He wants
It's accommodative.
He just wants to cover all his bases. So he covers the.
So there is no contradictory like Tamil nationalism and Dravidian.
Tamil nationalism is spoken by only one person, and then that person has some traction. That is actor Seeman. And that Tamil nationalism, as I understand it, is.
But he suffered a major defeat this time.
I foresaw this. I had mentioned this in my interviews even 2 months ago. Because this is a major force. So when, in the absence of someone like Vijay, Seeman would gain traction. Everybody has fallen by the wayside. The chief minister has fallen. Thol Thirumavalavan has fallen. Others have fallen by the wayside. This is a victory for film glamour. This is a victory for youth. This is a victory for change. This is a victory for... and essentially, most of it is an opposition vote.
Okay. Sir, do you think in any way this became possible, the victory became possible because of voter fatigue?
No,
because
it's not voter fatigue because
especially among the youngsters,
people came out in large numbers to vote. Voter fatigue is when people don't show up. Fatigue with the
With the
government,
Dravidian parties, yeah.
with the Dravidian party. I am not so sure. It's too early to pronounce anything. And then the DMK has come back like a phoenix on many occasions in the past. When it was written off during the emergency in the 1970s, it was written off. It was written off afterwards when Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated. It has come back. It managed to win just one seat during that time, and yet it has come back.
What do you think are the major challenges for Vijay to form the government, to make sure he runs it, the day-to-day proceedings of the governance? What are the major challenges ahead?
Usually the civil service takes care of the day-to-day functioning. Political decisions are left to the political leadership, and then they bring it forward to you for you to make an informed choice, and then you live with its consequences. So that is a political call. Civil servants will not, they can make you, they can drive you towards a particular decision. They will give you they will marshal all the facts. They'll give you all the facts for you to make an informed choice, because some of these decisions will come to bite you. So it's not going to be easy. He has made very tall promises. The others have also made tall promises. So whoever is in his shoes today would find it very difficult to translate those promises into reality, because you need to find the resources for that. So it's going to be pretty difficult. Day-to-day functioning, I'm not that worried. Government formation, I'm not that worried. I think he can get allies. He just needs 10 more members. And
11 members.
Okay. So he can get those from from across the aisle, from both sides. And I think already talks are on, exploratory talks are on. Day-to-day functioning, government formation, ministry allocation, all this is the least difficult. The difficulty is there's so much hope and expectation
that he would deliver
of him.
Okay.
How is he going to step up? It's going to be a Herculean task.
Okay.
Because there's so much goodwill at the moment. So he will of course try to maintain that goodwill.
So what's your opinion on the kind of MLAs have been elected now? Because many of them, they belong to low middle class and middle class families, and most of them are first-time MLAs, and many of them entered politics because Vijay started a party. So what kind of assembly will it be, and how they will be delivering? What's your opinion on that?
You're placing too much emphasis on legislators and the legislative work. Most of these people are people's representatives. In our country, parliamentarians and legislators are very different from the senators and congressmen in the United States. Okay, here it is simply a question of ensuring service delivery, ensuring that the system works, that if your pension is delayed, that I intervene on your behalf to expedite pension delivery. If you need help...
No, because many of them are youngsters.
No, I'm going to come to that.
How the policy framing will change.
We don't have to worry about all that. As I said, ideology and all that is not that very important. People need jobs. People need a smooth life. People don't want to be confronted by the absence of electricity, a very difficult government office. They don't want to be stonewalled. So that is, service delivery is important. And I think they will come to it. But I wanted to go back to a more fundamental issue, which is some of these candidates who have won are really political upstarts. An auto driver, his own chauffeur's son. They have, like in Roypuram, a simple auto driver. What would an auto driver know? He has defeated a 4 times minister and another powerful candidate from the DMK, and the 4-time minister was from the AAA-DMK. And he doesn't even live there, this auto driver. Elsewhere, his chauffeur's son, he has also defeated a DMK candidate. What this means is, in 1967, when the DMK came to power, because Vijay himself has mentioned 67 and 77 as 2 seismic events, and that this election will be equally seismic. And it is, because in 67, Very simple people defeated. Simple, very people from the lowest strata of economic strata of society took on. Bhaktavachalam, the chief minister, sitting chief minister, lost to a simple farmer in Punamalli,
Yes.
D.R. Rajaratnam. And in many other places, lesser known individuals brought down mighty ministers and Congress bigwigs. So there was a social revolution. The Fort St. George opened up. The common man went in for the first time thinking that he was in power. A very simple common man, because the founder of the DMK said, we're all commoners. You and I, my younger brother, we are all commoners. So for the first time, the commoners had reached a particular height. And that revolution spawned complete societal makeover. So wherever the Congress failed to touch, this DMK revolution brought social mobility to segments of society that had not reached that height. Then that revolution was overturned by another revolution by MGR in 1977. A whole new crop of young people, very well-read young graduates, tailors, simple tailors in Tirthani constituency. A simple tailor was fielded by MGR. Nobody knew him. He just defeated the MLA who had won consecutively. So, and MGR used to tell people, nobody is voting for you, they're voting for me. This is exactly what has happened now. Auto drivers, nobody was voting for any of these candidates. These candidates were barely known, except Sengotayan. None of the other candidates, and Vijay himself, none of the other candidates, nobody had heard of them.
Yeah.
Okay, and there were many Dalit candidates, I'm told. So the Dalit vote swung in favor of, in a major way, towards Vijay. And most of these people, I know a sizable section of the candidates belong to other parties, like Babu, who has defeated the chief minister. Yeah. He's originally an MLA, a DMK MLA, right? So they have made some compromises. It is not that everybody is a political upstart, no. And there are some people who are not of a very modest origin, like you see Adav Arjuna. Now he comes from a very well-to-do family. So it is, but most of the candidates,
going to be a mix.
Most of the candidates are very simple people, are from a very simple background. They see, hope in Actor Vijay, and therefore they have entrusted their entire, life. Because on the day of the polling, on the polling day, I saw people dressed like him, in khaki trousers and in white shirts. I only saw Chennai, throughout Chennai, so organized, making up for all the shortcoming maybe in the campaign. And you see what has happened. I expected a good performance. I expected him to be the arbitrator, the kingmaker. I never expected him to become the king himself. So I think we should welcome it, because this is, if not for Vijay's entry, a whole new Gen Z who are indifferent to public life, who are indifferent to politics as such, they have been energized. They're not very aware. That's a different thing. They will, over a period of time, become aware. They will become more nuanced. But at the moment, there's so much enthusiasm, so much energy, infectious. And that energy should see them through.
Fine, sir. Thank you very much for the information and time. Thank you, sir.